When you hear the word Orwellian, what exactly comes to mind? A fictional dystopian nightmare? Or a highly accurate blueprint for the surveillance reality we live in right now? Welcome to Airstrip 1, formerly known as London. In George Orwell's 1984, this is a city defined by post-war devastation, perpetual rationing, and the inescapable watchful gaze of Big Brother. This is where we meet Winston Smith. He works at the deeply ironic Ministry of Truth because his daily job is to... If the party makes a prediction that turns out to be false, Winston alters the archives so the party appears perfectly infallible. Winston retreats to a small corner of his apartment, hidden from his wall-mounted telescreen. Here, he begins to record his private thoughts in a blank diary. To the party, this is the ultimate transgression, the start of crime think, or holding any belief that deviates from the state's absolute narrative. In that diary, he writes down the suffocating, contradictory maxims that govern his world. The psychological trap of the party is laid bare in 3 simple sentences. In a society engineered to dictate every aspect of reality, the simple act of taking a pen to paper to record your own mind is a desperate reclamation of the self, and a guaranteed death sentence. Winston soon finds an accomplice in a younger woman named Julia. Their forbidden relationship functions as a calculated act of high treason against a state that demands absolute emotional purity and total loyalty. They secure a secret sanctuary in a shabby, rat-infested room above Mr. Charrington's antique shop. For a brief window, this room becomes the last hidden bastion of human individuality, seemingly free from the omnipresent telescreens. Their physical intimacy is a direct, calculated strike against the state. As Orwell writes, their embrace is a battle, and the climax is a victory. It is a political act designed to prove they still own their own bodies and desires. The state, however, is already engineering a tool to make this kind of rebellion impossible. It's called Newspeak. Newspeak is the official language of Oceania, explicitly designed to systematically shrink the vocabulary. If there are no words to articulate a rebellious thought, the thought literally cannot exist. Winston understands the math of his situation. Standing with Julia in their hidden room, looking out the window, he utters a fatalistic realization. We are the dead. He knows they are already living on borrowed time. And he is right. The sanctuary is a trap. The thought police crash through the wall. A seemingly innocent picture frame shatters, revealing a hidden telescreen behind it. They were never actually alone. Under absolute surveillance, the state does not merely monitor human connection to gather data. It actively seeks to criminalize, locate, and extinguish it entirely. Winston is dragged into the windowless Ministry of Love. Here, a high-ranking official named O'Brien begins a methodical, agonizing campaign to break Winston's body, and more importantly, to erase his objective reality. To understand why the party goes to such lengths, we can look to the psychoanalyst Erich Fromm, who examined the deep, underlying motives of totalitarian systems like the one Orwell constructed. The party inflicts pain because power, for them, is not a means to achieve a utopian society. Power is the end goal itself. And power is defined precisely as the capacity to inflict unlimited suffering on another human being. The climax of this torture arrives in Room 101. The state weaponizes Winston's absolute worst, unendurable fear, rats, forcing him to snap. To save his own face from being eaten, he screams for them to do it to Julia instead, completing the ultimate betrayal. The party does not want to execute dissidents and create martyrs. They break their victims down until they willingly, genuinely believe that 2 + 2 = 5. Only then are they allowed to die. The aftermath is quiet and devastating. Winston sits alone at the Chestnut Tree Cafe, a hollowed-out shell of a man, drinking gin and tracing equations in the dust. The final spark of his rebellious humanity is completely extinguished. As a tear trickles down his nose, he realizes the internal struggle is over. He has been broken. He genuinely loves Big Brother. In Orwell's vision, surveillance was a mechanism of state coercion.
Yet we have chosen to integrate these same watching eyes into our daily lives voluntarily. Winston Smith lived in fear of the two-way telescreen on his wall.
Today, we carry more powerful versions in our pockets, devices that track our location, monitor our health, and listen to our private conversations, feeding that data into global networks. This constant stream of personal data facilitates the rise of mobile truth. Mobile truth is a concept where objective facts are discarded in favor of temporary, loyalty-based narratives that shift to serve the immediate interests of an organization or state. This diagram shows how easily our digital behavior can be manipulated. In Oceania, the geopolitical enemy switched instantly from Eurasia to East Asia. Today, digital algorithms constantly rewrite social feeds to dictate exactly who we are supposed to hate and who to trust. Individuals adopt new truths easily, with millions accepting the new narrative in perfect synchronization. If we do not fiercely protect the concept of objective truth, no dictator needs to force a dystopia upon us. We will gladly build the telescreens ourselves and forge the chains of our own submission.